Welcome again to Bake Your Way Kitchen. On today's video I'm going to show you how to make a quick and simple, easy, healthier peanut butter cookie. It's not entirely healthy, of course, but it's a healthier version of a wonderful treat. In the ingredients, there's only a few you'll need. One optional ingredient, vanilla, and it's a one bowl deal. We pretty much just put all the ingredients. We do the wet first, then add the dry, and then we just roll them and put them in the oven. Very easy and simple to make. First thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius. And what I've got here, and what I'll start with, is 1/3 cup of sunflower oil. You can use any flavorless oil you want, so this is about 80 milliliters. Now to that, I will add in our sugars, and it's 1 cup total, and you can vary. You can do more white sugar, more brown sugar. You can do all of one other. I've got 1/2 cup of 105 grams of brown sugar and 50 grams, 1/2 cup of white sugar. Again, you can alter the amounts if you want. So we can quickly beat this together. And it should only, if you want, you can do this in a stand mixer. It really depends. It's completely up to you as to what you use. And you just want to do it till it combines and try to get those, if you have any pieces of brown sugar, just try to crush them up a bit, just like so. And this will look a little bit different than if you're using, let's say, butter or something like that, which you can use if you don't want to use oil. Alright, so basically now what we're going to do is add in our egg, which is over here, to our mixture. We'll need 1 large egg. And this will help it come together. And our final wet ingredient, or our 2 final wet ingredients, I'm going to add a dash of vanilla. You don't need to. I'm choosing to. I don't know what that is. There we go. Just give that a quick mix. As you can see, it's all come together. There's still a few clumps. My brown sugar had a lot of clumps in it, but it's not at the end of the world. And we're going to add in our peanut butter, and I've got 3/4 cup, and that would be 180 grams. Just going to add this to the mixture. I'm using a raw peanut butter. Just keep in mind, they do pose the risk to have for the oils to separate. You should be safe, but you should understand that can happen. So you can use a store-bought peanut butter or just use a raw peanut butter. It's really up to you. Again, though, the oils are a risk of separating, but I'm kind of risking it. So you can see it really does come together. So that's all our wet ingredients. Now over here we've got our dry ingredients. I've got 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour with 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just going to give this a quick, doesn't need a huge whisk. Just quickly mix it so that there's no clumps of baking soda in one area. There we go. And you can just add it in. And you just want to mix it till combined, like all cookies. If you overmix, it'll get very stiff, and you don't want that. So just mix till combined. And this is the type of dough that's immediately ready to be rolled into balls. You don't need to put it in the refrigerator. Of course, if you think that your mixture is very soft, you can put it in the refrigerator. Mine looks that it's going to be perfectly stiff enough. And just so you know, just as I'm mixing this together, if you want, you don't even need to use peanut butter. If you have almond butter, cashew butter, you can really mix it up. I actually really like cashew butter, but I don't have it on hand, so I'm using what I've got. And I just gotta say, peanut butter cookies, they're just one of my favorites. They're something you can always count on. They're very delicious. Whoops, I dropped a piece on the ground. There we go. So now we're going to roll them into balls. The size is up to you. Just incorporate it till combined, and it'll be a bit crumbly. And you can make these the size you want. I'm going to make larger cookies. This is probably about 3 tablespoons actually. You can make them smaller. I've got, I use sometimes, this is a 2 teaspoon scoop, so you can use those. And depending obviously on the size will determine the amount of time in the oven. I would say for something this size it could be probably about 12 to 14 minutes. Alright, so I rolled these out. I've got about 9 here, and then I pressed them down and used a crisscross pattern. I've got 5 more here, so for 3 tablespoons you should get about 14. So if you use a smaller amount you'll get a lot more. These are a crumbly cookie. There's not as much peanut butter, not as much flour, not as much sugar, not as much oil than a typical cookie, so they will be a little more crumbly, and so you will need to work with them a bit, but they're equally delicious, just a bit healthier. Anyway, I'm going to put these in. I'll let you know how long they take, and I'll show you what they look like once they're done. Alright, so these are the cookies out of the oven. You'll notice that they are very crumbly. But they are delicious. They're a good cookie for like a coffee or tea. They're obviously a little drier, but they are healthier, of course. I hope you give this recipe a try. I'm going to post in the next few days one of my best ever peanut butter cookie recipes, and that's going to be very moist, chewy, and soft. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you feel like making peanut butter cookies and something a little healthier than your normal cookie, then give this a shot and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.